Brothers and sisters, our fight is united. And while many try to paint us as anti-Semitic, anti-Christian, radical Muslim, Islamist, the new word that they made up, it's not true. The fight for Palestine is a fight of dignity and honor. If you have a heart that can feel the pain of innocent civilians, children being bombed, then you are more than welcome. The moment you try to make excuses for the justification of for the murder of innocent civilians, innocent babies, schools, hospitals, journalists, then you're on the wrong side. The moment you make excuses for your silence or not joining our protest, you're on the wrong side. Today is a day that unites all of us, and no matter how much they try to paint us and try to divide us based on who we are, our color of the color of our skin, or the faith that we have, the truth remains. Every single identity is welcome as long as you feel for the suffering of those people, of all innocent civilians equally. Sudan, Palestine, Lebanon, Congo, Myanmar, Iran, Syria, Yemen, all places across the world, the struggle is interlinked, and the criminal is the same. So we're here to fight that all together. Without further ado, brothers and sisters, please help me give a warm welcome to our speaker, Simon from Notori Karta.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Rabbi Yisroel Dovid Weiss from Notori Karta, Jews United Against Zionism. First, I pray to the Almighty to bestow upon me His truth, His wisdom, that I may be worthy of conveying His message, and so, inshallah, sanctify His name and bring peace to the world. It is a great honor and privilege to be amongst you. I've flown in from New York. Actually, I came Friday because this weekend was especially put to speak about the hostages, Palestinian hostages. And I mentioned I was in Ottawa. My colleagues were all over the world, in London, in England, and around the world, and also in Toronto. My colleague Rabbi Feldman was there. We were speaking in different places. And it just hit, a thought came to me while I was standing there. We were talking about the hostages. I mentioned that there's a parable in Judaism where they talk about a king who had a son who sinned against the king, and he banished him from his land, and they sent him to some faraway place. The son became a shepherd, and he lived with the sheep for many years. The father started having remorse. He wanted him back, but he wanted to hear an apology. He wanted to hear something that the son has a feeling for his father. So he went and he sent out a message that he's going to this distant country where he knew his son is, and he said, whoever has a request can come and ask the king, and the king will give it to him. So he came where the shepherd was, his son, and people came and they requested. One guy needed a horse, one guy needed a cow. These were shepherds, these were poor, very poor town. His son came along and he said, he's a shepherd, he's living under the sun, it's very hot, he needs straw to make his hut. The father heard this, the king heard this. He didn't know what to do with himself. He was hoping that the son will say, I want to return, I want to have my home. And what did he ask for? He asked for a little straw to make a hut, because he totally forgot what it meant to be the prince. When I came to Ottawa and we started talking about free the hostages, and they started talking, then of course tears came to our eyes. We had doctors, one after the other, who described the inhumanity, the Satanism. It's something that is beyond words. It doesn't have any logical explanation. The inhumanity, the way the hostages, they're not prisoners, they're hostages that are being held in the Israeli prisons. They're being tortured, cruel torture, for no other reason than the Israelis have the power. And And we came and they started reading the names of the hostages. And they said, these are the hostages, we want the hostages freed. I kept on thinking, there is one hostage, and that is Palestine. Palestine is hostage. The whole Palestine is hostage. We want freedom. We don't want that state of Israel. Apartheid was ended. Nobody will make an apartheid state again. Because why? If you go to the United Nations and say you want to make an apartheid state, they'll laugh at you, they'll ridicule you, because it doesn't make sense. It's not humane. It's against God. The state of Israel is against God. It's not Judaism, it's against Judaism, it's against God, it's against every morality that we've been told and brought up about. Judaism is to serve God, over 3,000-year-old religion to be subservient to the Almighty. Zionism is a movement of 140 years around of heretics, people who detested the religion and wanted to transform this into a nationalism, a selfish, flawed nationalism by occupying another people. They picked Palestine simply because they knew the world will support them, because they'll falsely wave the Bible and say God gave it to us. These are thieves. These are criminals. These are murderers. They are not to be accepted, and one day it will end, because it is against God. The Almighty is justice. The Almighty is compassion. The Almighty is truth. And the state of Israel is a lie. The state of Israel is nothing more than a selfish, flawed takeover of another people's land and of another people's religion. They are not Jews. They are falsifying Judaism. Judaism is to serve God. Zionism is nationalism, to take a land from other people. Jews around the world, in Palestine, are demonstrating in the hundreds of thousands. We have the pictures. We have the facts. These are the facts. We've been demonstrating from day one. The chief rabbi of Palestine in 1947, before the state was ratified by the United Nations, he pleaded with the United Nations, Rabbi Dushinsky, not the Zionist fraud, their farce, what they call a rabbinate, but the true rabbinate that was in Jerusalem, that was in Al-Quds. This rabbi, Rabbi Dushinsky of blessed memory, it's in the documents of the United Nations. He said, we furthermore wish to express our definite opposition to a Jewish state in any part of Palestine. And since then, Jews have been murdered, are being murdered. They are arrested because they refuse to serve in that Israeli army, that satanic army, what they call defense. The IDF, they use it in psychological warfare to con people. Why do they call them the Israeli Defense Force? Why doesn't America call it their Defense Force? Why doesn't Canada call their Army Defense Force? Because all they are is deception. I'll pick it up. It's all deception. That's what they're all about. Falsifying and oppressing another people. We will not be silent. Why? Because we are forbidden to be silent. We are here today because we are doing what the Almighty requires, to stand up and to speak out and to cry. We don't know what we will accomplish, but we dare not be silent. We as Jews have a double responsibility, because this is being done in the name of my religion. They've stolen my identity. But we will not relinquish our identity. Our identity we've died for throughout the ages. My grandparents died in Auschwitz. We died in the Inquisition. We died, and we're proud because we say we will not relinquish our connection to the Almighty, our subservience to God, which is our religion of Judaism. The Zionists, for their selfish, flawed, evil plan of making their homeland, they want to steal our name. No way. It won't happen. We will not be silent. And therefore, Jews around the world, from day one, from Rabbi Dushinsky to today around the world, Jews true to the Jewish religion, stand and cry and hurt with the people of Gaza, the people of Lebanon, the people of Palestine, the people of Al-Quds. We hurt with you. We feel with you. We want you to know that we remember all the kindness that was done to the Jews throughout the ages by the Muslim and Arab countries, by the people of Iran, by the people of Lebanon, of Egypt. We remember, we will never forget. Over 2,000 years we lived in Yemen. Over 2,000 years we lived in Iran. Why? We had a different religion these last hundreds of years, a distinctly different religion. Did that make any difference? No, we lived together, Jew and Muslim. There was no special human rights groups. It wasn't necessary. We lived together because the difference of religion is not an impediment to coexistence. It never was. We always lived together. What is the impediment to peace? Zionism. The establishment of the state of Israel. That is the impediment to peace. That is the rivers of blood that we are witnessing today. The genocide, the endless evil. And we dare not be silent. And one day it will end. Why? Because the Almighty writes in His Torah, why are you rebelling against me? It will not be successful. Guaranteed, this state of Israel, the entire occupation will one day end entirely. But till that day comes, we are required, maybe we can't accomplish, but we are required to stand up and cry. Because if it hurts, you cry. If it hurts, you scream. You see injustice, you won't walk past a sick man who's taking his last breath. You'll stand there, you'll do something. We have to stand up. And we as Jews, we are humiliated. We are crying. We are hurt because it's being done in our name to a people who embraced us and took us in for these hundreds of years. We therefore cannot be silent, and it hurts when we see what is being done in our name. So therefore, we stand with you, and we will stand with you till inshallah the Almighty, with His compassion, will bring a free Palestine and free the hostages.
Tout le monde déteste les sionistes. Le monde déteste les sionistes. Tout le monde déteste les fascistes.